From 14 News, this is Touchdown Live in the Huddle, your live streaming pregame football show. Sponsored by Chick-fil-A West Evansville. Delivery from us to you. Order ahead through the Chick-fil-A app.
Hey everybody, and good evening. Welcome into the final episode of Touchdown Live in the Huddle for the season. Mitch, I might need a few tissues just saying that out loud.
Well, Max, the time has certainly flown by, but this show's packed with stuff that's going to turn that frown upside down, big guy.
Oh, it sure is, Mitch. Now, if you're new to the show, hey, better late than never. On In the Huddle each week, we preview the action coming up on Friday for high school football all across the tri-state.
Plus, as always, we're taking a deeper dive into the people who make up the teams with interviews and feature stories to kind of shine a spotlight on the minds you and I get to see on the field each and every week.
And now, Mitch, you mentioned exciting stuff on the show. Tell the folks what they can look forward to.
Well, Max, we've still got 5 squads alive in the IHSAA playoffs from the area, plus Mount Carmel, plus plenty of Kentucky schools. There's a lot to look at here.
Absolutely. And you can't forget our Player of the Week segment either, Mitch. Before we reveal our final Player of the Week winner, let's catch up with Liam Stone, the winner from last week. Aaron caught up with him earlier this week.
Yes, hey guys, we are here with our Week 11 Player of the Week, Liam Stone from North Posey. Liam, congratulations, and we'll give you this football here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the community for voting for me.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did, and the North Posey community, of course. And obviously, you had a huge game against Mater Dei. Talk about that game and how it went.
It was basically the game we've been training our whole careers for. We knew that we were going to play them this year, and after the past 2 years, we knew that we had to train as hard as we could to beat these guys. And it's such a relief and such an amount of happiness to finally beat those guys, finally get that goal.
Definitely, and obviously you played a huge role in it as the quarterback and, you know, both running and throwing.
Yeah, the line really did good that game. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to run. Same with Jed. Jed really makes it hard for them to key in on just a couple players. Jackson Graff had a great couple catches, and Caden Stewart had that one that was called out.
That's right. I remember seeing that, too. I was shooting it. Well, you know, how did that feel to beat Mater Dei? I mean, a team you had never beaten, which I couldn't believe that.
I mean, during the game, I kind of just blanked out. I was just so focused on winning this game. I knew we could do it, even when down 2 touchdowns, and this makes me so proud to be part of this team, battling back and winning there. And
that had to be, you know, you had to be on pins and needles on the sidelines during that 2-point conversion try they had.
Yeah, honestly, we saw them all huddled up on the sideline, and we didn't know what was going on. Then they just ran out and ran a 2-point. I had no time to think. It was just pure instincts.
And obviously now you guys, you know, won the sectional championship over Paoli this past week, and here you are on to the regional round.
You know, it's a big thing around here to win a sectional, especially in 18 years, but the most important thing for us is just to, you know, take it, clear our heads before the new week, and hopefully get a regional, not let the success get to us.
Definitely, and you know, obviously a tough team in Triton Central. They're number 1 in 2A. You guys are number 4, though. I mean, you got to feel like, hey, we can play with these guys. We got nothing to lose.
It's going to be a good game, especially going up to their place. It's going to be a long drive, but we're going to stay focused. We've been playing good on the road all year. This will be the longest drive, but everyone's been keyed in this week, and I feel like we're going to travel well.
Well, and you definitely travel well as far as the community. They'll be up there. I have no doubts to support you guys.
Yeah, it'll be like the scene in Hoosiers when the whole town goes to the next town for their games. Yeah. Very excited.
Turn out the lights, roll up the sidewalk.
Yeah.
All right, Liam. Well, thanks for joining us for our Player of the Week ceremony, and good luck against Triton Central.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We will send it back to you.
Thanks, Aaron, and congrats again to Liam Stone. That guy knows his cinema as well, referencing the Hoosier movie. Now, it's time to reveal our final Player of the Week winner for the season. Mitch, how are those votes looking?
Oh, they're looking great. They're counted, ready to be revealed to the world, if I may.
Oh, by all means, tell us.
Well, congrats to Dylan Kendrick of Memorial.
Wow, congrats indeed, man. This guy had a game, but no highlight was better than this right here. A 70-yard touchdown catch for Dylan Kendrick. His Memorial Tigers pull off the monster upset over the undefeated Wrights Panthers. We'll talk more about the Memorial Tigers coming up later in the episode. But first, Mitch, we said it was the final week of Player of the Week voting, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't rule out Player of the Year, does
You,
it?
my friend, are absolutely correct. We've got 10 nominees for Player of the Year for this season, all of them former Player of the Week winners.
Voting opens tomorrow night. We'll go for a full week, so plenty of time to get your votes in. We'll take a look at the nominees throughout the week, but again, 10 people up for what I might call the most prestigious honor in the tri-state area. Am I exaggerating,
I
Mitch?
think you're spot on right now. You know, our Player of the Week, the winners will have a chance of nabbing this. Now, what makes it so prestigious? First off, you've got to get this ball right here. Every single Player of the Week winner got one, but only the Player of the Year gets this one right here, signed by every single winner this year. But that's not all.
No, it certainly is not. Our Player of the Year winner will also get this.
Max, I can't hardly see that. It's pretty blurry, but it looks shiny. Does it look personalized, the winner? It looks, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks certainly shiny. You would be right, sir. We want to keep a bit of mystery, but our Player of the Year will get whatever this personalized and shiny prize is. So get your votes in. Again, voting opens tomorrow evening before the games begin. They'll be open all week.
To vote, once again, it's open. Go right to the 14 Sports app, click the 3 bars in the upper left-hand corner, and find the Player of the Week voting tab. You'll see your 10 options. Click the heart button under your choice, and you can vote an unlimited number of times. Just keep on refreshing.
Oh, yeah, and I know that was a lot of excitement already, but don't go anywhere. Coming up on In the Huddle, it's time for our Tri-State Insider segment. Mitch, he's here as always. He's ready to break down some plays and look at some film.
You know what I'm all about. Speaking of breaking down plays in film, we had that huge upset last Friday. You just saw this play with the Memorial Tigers knocking off the undefeated Wrights Panthers for the sectional chip. We caught up with them as they prep for regionals. Stick around.
Welcome back to In the Huddle, and welcome back in for our final Tri-State Insider segment of the season. Mitch, we've talked a lot of ball this year.
That we have, Max, but we can't quite hang our hats just yet. There's always work we got to do.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if you're just joining us for our last show, first off, I'm sorry for your loss. And second of all, this is where we break down our Touchdown Live game of the week.
Oh, that's right. We'll look at the big playmakers on both sides. We'll check out some of their highlights. And finally, I'll pick who I think is going to come out on top on Friday night.
Why listen to us, though? Well, not only do we each have experience talking high school ball throughout the whole season, but Mitch was actually a state champion, if you don't remember, here in Indiana at Southridge and went on to play college ball at Ball State. I did spend my time in undergrad covering a football team, you know, as the Hoosiers. So we've got a bit of experience under it.
That's right. Week 13 now. We've been around the rodeo a little bit. Well, we're well into the playoffs here in the Tri-State. Max, tell them where we're going. No more funny business. Where are we headed on Friday night?
Well, with pleasure. Here we go. We've spent a lot of time up here in the Hoosier State as they get ready for regionals this week, and we know there are plenty of good games in town, but this Friday, we saw fit to take our talents out across the Ohio and down into the Commonwealth, battling it out for a trip to the quarterfinals this Friday. None other than the Union County Braves.
I'm excited about this one. The Braves coming off a huge round 1 win, 28-6 over Adair County that saw some great defensive plays and an offense that'll just wear you out. Did I mention, I like those baby blue uniforms. Looking fresh out there.
How can you not love them? They're looking like Ole Miss out there in the powder blue unis. Well, Don't look for the Braves to do too much different this week than they've done all season long. Coach Derek Johns has got himself a well-oiled machine. Guys like quarterback Jaron Johnson are what small school ball is all about, Mitch. Running tough all season long, looking to lead their squad all the way to the chip. And this Friday, the Braves are at home hosting Franklin Simpson. Mitch, what do we know about these Wildcats?
Well, Max, I'm glad you asked. Without digging beyond surface level, we know they're no slouch. You know, at this point in the season, as you progress further and further into the postseason, you won't find teams that can't play. No one's bad simply because you've got to win to move on. You know, so heading into this contest, I got a hold of some stats from their game last week against Hancock County to compare with Union County last week against their squad. Now let's check out that tail of the tape here. Franklin Simpson pulled out the win 35-8, while UC came away with a 28-6 victory.
Yeah, and well, looking at these two teams, pretty similar makeups, except when you look at that second and third row there. Union County aired it out dramatically more than Franklin Simpson, posting 127 passing yards, opposed to Franklin Simpson's just 34.
Well, you've also got to look at the turnover battle, right? Franklin Simpson took away 2 fumbles and brought in 3 picks. Depending on how solid that secondary decides to come out and play on Friday, that could spell a completely different story through the air than we saw last week for the Braves.
Yeah, and we'll hear from Coach Johns later in the show a little bit, but a big thing he also mentioned that does play into that passing game a little bit, Franklin Simpson has kind of a committee of running backs. They're all super strong. He can't just focus on one of them. Again, we'll hear later on from Coach Johns about that makeup, but both these squads have similar records and have had similar wins last week. What are you watching for from Union County?
Well, I've said it here in the past few weeks, but once you get into postseason play, you've kind of got that X factor that comes out.
Yes.
Because these games carry so much more weight than just they have in the regular season all season long. It's win or go home, right? And we know neither squad wants to call it a season already. For Union County, let's check out their matchup in 3A last week where they were hosting Adair County. Right there late in the second quarter, you just saw the pass. Union County trying to get those points on. Jaron Johnson found Duncan Mills for a big first down. We've mentioned him, absolute dog.
Absolutely. Here he is in the same game, 9.9 seconds left. The Braves have to be careful. Johnson buying time. Then he finds in the end zone Luke Thomas wide open for the score with just 1.4 left on the clock. What a play, making it 13-6. He's a guy that can make something out of nothing.
Absolute gamer there. And after the defense pitched a shutout in the second half, Braves put up a few more and took it 28-6.
All right, Mitch, we've seen the tape. We've talked X's and O's. We know what time it is. It's time for Carter's Call. Who's it going to be, buddy?
Well, Max, no funny business this week.
None.
We've come far enough. I don't have to explain it. You know, we know both these squads. They know what's on the line. Bottom line, you survive in advance or you lose and you go home, right? On Friday night, don't expect anything less than maximal effort from both these teams. Weather shouldn't be a factor. It might cool off a bit, but it's not going to be cold. Bottom line, I'm expecting a good, hard-fought game when the Braves take on the Wildcats.
Mitch, I think I might know what you're about to say here, but fill me in.
I think you do. I've yet to pick a postseason winner. I get that, but this week, my luck turns around this week. On Friday night, under the big lights, give me the Braves. Well, another team in the Tri-State with a big matchup, the Memorial Tigers. And while their season started off as good as they had hoped for, an injury to their starting quarterback left the rest of the season kind of up in the air in jeopardy.
Yeah, that was until Matthew Fisher, the guy who went down, his lifelong best friend, stepped in. Now the Tigers, they're getting ready for a regional championship.
It certainly wasn't something Memorial expected to happen, but after starting quarterback Matthew Fisher went down with an injury, everyone had to adjust, including Fisher himself.
I think I had to flip the switch, pretty quickly and realize that I got to, take on a new role, and that's, more of a vocal leader.
And when junior wide receiver Luke Elsperman approached head coach John Hurley about taking over the starting quarterback job, well, Coach Hurley needed to adjust as well.
And here's the thing, take consideration. Luke thinks he can do everything.
He was like, no, because, he's seen me throw. My throwing motion was terrible at the start, and he didn't think there was any way that was going to happen.
Even Fisher, one of Luke's childhood best friends, was taken aback by the idea.
I've never seen Luke play quarterback before, except when, maybe we were in the backyard, but Luke was in my ear a lot about trying to get me to help him out.
Once Coach gave Elsperman the green light to start at quarterback, Fisher knew he had to help his buddy out.
He definitely made fun of me, yeah. He has a pretty perfect throwing motion, and mine's not the best. He still makes fun of me to this day.
So Matthew needed to give him some pointers.
Looks so stiff. Gotta be loose.
What do you think now? Anything else?
Smaller step.
Smaller Oh, my goodness.
Just need to loosen up.
Loosen up?
Don't be so tight. Just relax.
Okay, here we go.
There you go.
And while he may take the occasional jab at his throwing mechanics, Fisher helped Luke out the most with the mental side of being a starting quarterback.
Staying calm and realizing that you're in charge of the offense, and that's kind of the biggest thing for me. It's never really been the physical part, it's been the mental, and he's really helped me out with that.
After suffering a devastating setback for the team and losing Fisher, the Tigers are now gearing up for a regional championship, in part thanks to this incredible play against Wrights. A 70-yard touchdown that started with a pass from Elsperman. Certainly cause for celebration.
We kind of bumped helmets, and we were getting pretty hyped up.
So after the big win, perhaps it was time for Elsperman to get a new evaluation from his best friend.
Well, he's taking care of the ball, he's winning, and he's putting up points. And those are the three most important things as a quarterback. So I'll give him an A.
All right, coming up on In the Huddle, don't go anywhere. Hear from Union County head coach Derek Johns as we dig into his game plan ahead of their game of the week.
Plus, I know you know by now where I'm going to be. That's the Telestrator, baby. We got some juicy highlights from last week that you don't want to miss. I'd argue I saved my best work for last. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We've talked game of the week and broken things down with our Tri-State Insider. Now it's time to hear from the man in charge of the Braves, head coach Derek Johns. It was interesting to hear from Coach Johns about last week. Heading into this Adair County game, the Braves were coming off just their 4th loss over a 3-year span and the first loss this season. So the question for Coach was, how would his team respond?
I was sort of nervous about that and how they were going to respond, but last week was a great week of practice, probably the best, one of the better ones we had all year. So, I do think it's, the loss did help us. I hate to say that, but it maybe less pressure on them.
So a good response against Adair County, but what's up next in the Franklin Simpson Wildcats?
Very good team. They spread the ball around. They have several running backs that they give the ball to, and just a hard-nosed team. They're aggressive. They have 3-4 running backs that are able to move in and out, and so you really can't just key on one player. You got to understand that they're all going to get touches, and they're all going to stay fresh.
We'll have that game, plus many more on Touchdown Live tomorrow night. Join me live on 14 News at 4, 5, and 6 as we continue to preview that game of the week matchup between Union County and Franklin Simpson. But now it's time for one final round this year. We'll send it over to the Telestrator and check out some great plays from last week.
Well, thank you, Max. For our last Telestrator segment for the 2023 season, I know I'm sad about it too. Let's start off by heading out to Owensboro for some games in the bigger classes. Over at Rash Stadium, OHS was in action last week against Ohio County in their first round pool. Now we're jumping into the second quarter here with the Red Devils up 37-0. Let's roll the clip. Owensboro's Deion Winstead on the tote here. He works outside and stop right here. Now, watching, let's just talk logistics, right? Winstead is quite literally parallel here with 2 guys on top of him right there, right? Now, it looks like a tackle for a minimum gain here, let's be honest, but I chose this play because clearly that's not what's going to happen here. Watch the balance and awareness here from Deion. Go ahead and roll that clip right there. He actually gets thrown so hard to the defender that he's able to shed both tackles. Jukes another man. He's not quite done yet. Dives his way into the end zone for 6 right there. It happens so fast. It looks so fluid. It's hard to conceptualize how difficult that is. Now, the Red Devils are so used to him ball, and you saw he only gets a high 5 there for the Herculean effort. Great play, young man, and greater win. Red Devils shut him out 67-0 and pick up the 800th win in Owensboro football history. Congrats, guys. Well, the next one here is a bit of an oddity, I'll be honest. Let's head out to Posey County, where North Posey was hosting the Paoli Rams. Now, we're about to watch a punt, so let's go ahead and roll it. For North Posey here, Matt Stump gets the ball and launches a beauty. Watch through the air right here, and right away, muffed, right? Now it looks like a Vikings touchdown. They pick it up, everyone's celebrating, right? Touchdown? No, actually. So after this here, you see him waving it off. Let's rewind a moment here to the moment where it was muffed. Let's watch as it gets pulled back here. Right there. So you can see right here, the ball is on the ground. His hands are up here. He muffed it. It's still on that 1 yard line, right? You see where his feet are at. So in Indiana in high school football, the reason I picked this play is because I was at this game, right? And in the stands, I hear kind of a mixed reaction. People are a little bit confused. People might not understand why this wasn't a score. So let me explain, right? So I just said right here, look right here. When the ball is muffed, they're still on that 1 yard line. In high school football, the kicking team can recover a muffed punt, but they can't advance it. So since it was muffed at the 1, that's where they'd start off. Now, just for gigs, just for the sake of the argument, let's say the returner here actually did catch the punt, takes off, and gets it knocked away. That's different. They could return that. And in that case, it would have been a Vikings touchdown because the receiver was never in control, though, no dice. So let's go ahead and roll the clip here because after they went off the score, the Vikings had 0 problems here. They handed off to Jed Galvin, the absolute tank who walks it in for his second TD on the night. So all in all, same result as what you would have, but a fun one to talk about. Vikings went on to win the game and hoist the sectional trophy 35-14. Now, to the southeast side of Owensboro for a Class 6A battle between 5-5 Davis County and 1-9 North Hardin. Now, the Panthers are peaking at kind of the right time here. They've won the 4 of their last 5. Let's check out that Panther quarterback, though. Roll the tape right here. 33 yards to go, and Luke Floyd looking downfield, points someone out, but no one's open, calls his own number here. We'll watch as he heads into heavy traffic. Stop right there. Now, he's heading into the heavy traffic, like I said right there, and if you see, there's 1, 2, 3 guys right here, and Luke Floyd has discovered the B button on the Xbox, putting the boys in a spin cycle right there. As you're about to see right here, he actually spins to avoid this initial tackler and ends up finessing his way out of breaking 2 tackles. Looking for a free hit stick? Look elsewhere. Let's go ahead and roll the clip right here. I'll clear this out. Watch the spin right there. Misses one. He's not done quite yet. Have another one right there. Luke Floyd dragging a gaggle of Trojans. That's all it takes to take him down right there. Number 2, putting the team on his back down to the 1-yard line right there, leading to the score you're going to see right here and leading to a Davis County win, 24-21 over North Hardin.
Well, Mitch, great plays as always. Come on back in here. You do a wonderful job, sir. And staying right on the subject of great plays, a guy who has made a ton of them, that'd be Caleb Harris.
Well, Max, I think you and I were both taken aback a bit when we saw the number. But Caleb Harris has had 17.5 sacks on the year for the Huskies. This is a guy who's been a game wrecker at the front of the North defensive line all season long.
Yeah, and look at that also, 25.5 tackles for loss all year. He walked us through what's going through his head when he lines up, and then when he gets the sack, and of course, he made sure to give the boys around him some love as well.
Got to.
I'm seeing them, and I'm seeing the guy in front of me also. I'm like, they're not as good as me. Let's go. Let's go. It's just a rush through my body. I'm just, I can't really hear the crowd much, but I celebrate with my team. So it's really just kind of my teammates also. I got them pushing the quarterback to my side, and I'm pushing them to their side also, so they helped me a lot on that too.
His head coach knows he's a physically gifted athlete, but Caleb's success wasn't just handed to him.
You know, he's blessed with a lot of athleticism, but the other part of that is he had to work at it too, and then and continue to improve his skill set. And he's really done that these last couple of years. And so I think, that's a testament to him and his ability. But not only that, but his work ethic and his demeanor and his attitude have really improved as well.
Next on In the Huddle, you already know it. Aaron has been out finding someone to take to the red zone for some rapid-fire questions. In the Red Zone is next.
And of course, we'll take a look at every Week 13 slate, every big matchup for the Tri-State area teams right back here in a moment.
Welcome back in, everyone. It most certainly is that time of the show, right?
Oh, you bet. It's Red Zone time, baby. Let's see who Aaron put to the test this week. Aaron?
Hey guys, yes, we are here with Henderson County's Max Thompson here on the In the Red Zone segment. Max, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, let's get right to it. What is your favorite NFL team?
Miami Dolphins.
All right, cool. How about your favorite college team?
Kentucky.
All right, true Kentuckian. Favorite video game?
Madden or NCAA Football 14 on the Xbox.
All right, how about your favorite TV show?
Peaky Blinders.
Okay. All right, little food here. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
All right, hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers.
All right. Who is the biggest team prankster here at Hendo?
Probably Taylor Baker or Yusuf Sanogo Kendrick.
Okay. Well, what is your favorite Josh Boston quote?
Man. Right here in the background, but probably that.
What's your favorite pregame hype up song to get you going?
Probably anything by NBA Youngboy.
All right. How about favorite pregame meal?
Steak.
All right. And then what is your favorite subject in school?
History.
All right. Sounds good, Max. Thanks for joining us, and we'll let you get back to practice.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Aaron. Great stuff. And hey, that guy's got a pretty good first name, I'd say. I don't know. All right. Now, first up, as we start to look at the schedule, Mitch, show us what you're looking at. A very interesting part in that 3A bracket, yes?
Interesting indeed. Let's go ahead and pull it up here. We've got two local teams who are just one game away from meeting up again, just like they did in the regular season. So right there, coming out of Sectional 30, the Gibson Southern Titans are heading to Tri-West Hendricks to try and knock off those 11-1 Bruins.
Now on the other side, as you can see of the bracket, our Sectional 32 product looking to extend to 11-1 when they head to Batesville Heritage Hills coming off a dominant 51-10 win over Scottsburg.
Well, both those games should be great games. You don't get to regional as a slouch, and if both the Titans and the Patriots are able to pull that on Friday night, they'll meet on November 17th, 7 p.m. Be a good one right there.
Oh, yeah, that would absolutely be quite the game if those two teams can come out on top this weekend. Plenty more matchups to look at, though. In 5A, a big regional championship matchup between North and Bloomington South. That one kicks off in Bloomington at 6:30 Central Time. Our Aaron Hancock will be at that game. Now, also right in town, a big one at Enloe Field. Can Memorial make it 2 stunners in a row and knock off another undefeated team in East Central? Well, we'll have to find out in the 4A Regional Championship that's right in town. Now, before we get to Kentucky, Mitch, 2 more matchups here, an Indiana and Illinois game. First, it's North Posey traveling to play Triton Central at 7. Then on Saturday for our Illinois team, Mount Carmel, they've got a big one also kicking off at 2 o'clock against the Tolano Unity Rockets. And I should mention also that Gibson Southern game we talked about earlier, that's a Saturday kickoff as well at 2 o'clock. Now, Mitch, we've got some big Kentucky playoff games as well. We already know our game of the week, Union County and Franklin Simpson. Tell us about some of the other good ones.
My pleasure, Max. Here we go. Now, this slate is jam-packed in Kentucky. In 2A, Crittenden County taking the bus ride to Owensboro Catholic. Aces have been nasty work to deal with all year long. The Rockets looking to end that reign. Then in 5A, South Warren heading to Red Devil country. Owensboro coming off a smackdown last Friday. We saw one of their highlights of the Telestrator earlier. No slouch over there. And keeping in the Commonwealth, the Mustangs of McCracken County repping 6A when they travel into Henderson County to try and knock off the Colonels. 5-6 versus 5-6. Excited to see who walks out of there victorious. And last but not least, we're keeping an eye on Central Hardin and Davis County. After 5 straight losses to start the season, the Panthers have hit their stride. After knocking off North Hardin last week, they're hoping to do the same to the Central counterparts.
All right, thank you all so much for watching our final rendition of Touchdown Live in the Huddle. We hope you enjoyed our in-depth look at some of the best football teams across the tri-state all season long.
This was our final episode of In the Huddle this football season. Of course, as always, this would not have been possible without our entire production team, our marketing team, Caleb, Elena. I see you guys all back there. Can we pull that TP camera up? There you are back there showing off a ball. Hey, Ted. There's the catch, baby. Come on now.
Touchdown, Ted.
Thank you guys for all the work you put in this year to make this happen. You guys are great.
Appreciate you guys. And for highlights of all your favorite games, that was a great play by Ted,
sure
by
was.
the way. And an even better throw by Caleb. We'll have to put that in the highlight show. Who knows? For highlights on all your favorite games, be sure to join us back here for our Touchdown Live show every Friday night on our 14 Sports app at 10:35. And then, of course, we'll feature our express version on 14 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching In the Huddle all season long. We'll see you soon.